You want to understand a massive industrial shift that's happening right now? Well, to do that, we're going to look back in time. 100 years, actually, because it turns out history has this fascinating, kind of startling way of showing us exactly what's coming next. Now, listen to this quote. Sounds pretty reasonable, right? But that was the common wisdom in New York City back in the early 1900s. I mean, think about it. The roads were ruled by horse-drawn carriages. The whole idea of stopping to fill a metal box with gasoline, it seemed completely ridiculous compared to the good old reliable horse. And that really begs the question, doesn't it? If that was their fixed mindset, what is ours? What's the conventional wisdom we all take for granted today that might look just as silly in the very, very near future? Keep that question in your head as we dive in. Okay, so let's wind the clock back. We're going to see just how that world of horse transport, which seemed permanent, like it would last forever, was completely upended, and with a speed that is, well, truly breathtaking. Just try to imagine this. A brand new Ford Model T sputtering and coughing its way down a street just filled with horse-drawn carriages. According to our source material, people literally laughed at them. I mean, for long distances, you had trains. For short hops around town, you had the horse. So why would anyone want this noisy, unreliable machine that you always had to find some special fuel for? It was just seen as a toy for the rich. But here's where it gets crazy. And this is the crucial point. Despite all that skepticism, in just 10 years, the entire landscape flipped. The whole industry went from being almost 100% horse-powered to almost 100% powered by the internal combustion engine, a complete transformation in a single decade. Now, whenever a change that massive happens, there are always a few people who see it coming, and they position themselves to build legendary fortunes. So let's meet the two architects of this brand new era. This whole revolution really had two sides to it. First, you had Henry Ford. He totally revolutionized car production, making them so affordable that regular people could actually buy one. That's product innovation. But then you had John D. Rockefeller. He understood that all those new cars would be pretty useless without fuel, so he built the essential infrastructure, the whole network of gas stations to power them. You see, it wasn't just about the product, it was about the product and its ecosystem. Ford built the machine, and Rockefeller built the network. And together, they created this completely new, unbreakable system. And yeah, they reaped enormous wealth from it. So why are we talking about a 100-year-old story? I mean, who cares, right? Well, because according to the source material for this explainer, this exact same pattern isn't just some history lesson. It is happening all over again, right now. Let's jump to the present. We're seeing the very idea of a car go through the exact same kind of radical redefinition it did a century ago. For decades, how have we classified cars? By the brand, right? Is it a luxury car, a sports car, an economy car? Well, the source argues all of that is about to become completely irrelevant. In the very near future, there are only going to be two types of cars, those you drive manually and those that are driven for you by an AI. That is the new dividing line. It's not about the leather seats or the logo on the hood anymore. The single most important feature, the one that's going to define every single vehicle, is whether it's autonomous or not. So, if that's the new reality, who's the central player? Well, the source points to one company that seems to be positioned to replicate that historical blueprint, the one from Ford and Rockefeller. First off, Tesla is playing the part of Ford. They're the product innovator, pushing the boundaries of what a vehicle can even be with its AI-driven autonomous tech. But here's the real kicker. The carol doesn't stop there. Tesla is also playing the part of Rockefeller. They're running both playbooks at the same time. On one hand, you've got the product innovation, that AI-driven self-driving technology. And on the other, you've got the infrastructure dominance, a global charging network that the source calls absolutely superior. It's like they took the Ford model and the Rockefeller model and just mashed them together into a single company. So what does all this mean for the next few years? Well, the source suggests that the pace of change is going to be just as dramatic as it was a century ago. 10 years. That's the projected time frame. Just like the shift from horses to cars, this next revolution is expected to happen incredibly fast. This is what people in tech call an S-curve. It starts out slow, then it hits a tipping point, and then boom, it explodes with near vertical growth as the new technology just becomes the standard. The prediction is that this steep curve is going to let the leader in this space achieve total industry dominance, all within that 10-year window. Now, the source material connects this huge industrial shift to a potential financial outcome, basically arguing that investing in the company that's leading this charge could be a strategy to overcome inflation and even build the kind of wealth needed for an early retirement. And that leaves us with one final thought. A century ago, people couldn't imagine a world without horses filling the streets. Today, we're on the cusp of a similar massive transformation. So the question isn't just what car you'll be driving in 10 years, it's what kind of future we will all be driving into.